What's up, y'all? Kid Stain back again with another video, and yes, from the title, you already know what this is about. Onimusha. Now, most people may not even know what Onimusha is, but if you do, then bonus points for you, because this is just going to be a little informative video about how I had a good experience playing through Onimusha for the first time. And it's also going to be like a retrospective or something. I don't really know how to call these videos, but it's really just me talking about the game that I really liked and just, I don't know. We're going to see how this does, and yeah. Onimusha is a hack and slash made by Capcom, released in January 25th, 2001. And let me tell you, Onimusha is addicting. If you like OG games like Resident Evil and Ninja Gaiden, I suggest you give it a try. But to me, it's a happy medium between the two. I actually think it's what would happen if you gave Resident Evil and Ninja Gaiden a child. It would be Onimusha. Fun fact. The origins of Onimusha can be traced back to 1997 when Capcom's I can't fucking read. Yoshiki Okamoto told magazine Denjike Nintendo 64 about an idea he had for a ninja version of Resident Evil that could potentially make its way to the Nintendo 64. The game would be set in a ninja house filled with booby traps similar to the mansion from Resident Evil, where battles are fought using swords and shuriken. In 2003, an interview with Game Center CX Keiji Inafune explained that the project began when he proposed a Sengoku version of Resident Evil to the company executives that would be called Sengoku Biohazard. Development began on the PlayStation with Inafune being given Resident Evil 1.5 to use as a basis for the new game. But yeah, that's enough background for now about Onimusha, so now we're going to start talking about the game. The game is, like I mentioned before, set in the Sengoku period and focuses on a samurai named Samanosuke Akechi, who fights against the forces of Nobunaga Oda. The game starts off during the Battle of Okihazama. Oh my gosh, I am so bad with pronouncing these Japanese names. Like, I fucking suck at it. Samanosuke is watching the battle until he is attacked by Imagawa Yoshimoto's men. Though Nobunaga Oda is victorious against Yoshimoto, he is shot in the neck by an arrow and assumed dead. A year later, Samanosuke receives a letter from his cousin, Princess Yuki of the Saito clan, as she fears monsters are behind the disappearances of her servants. Joined by Kaede, his ninja friend, which is, I'm gonna mention it now, Kaede is a little broken. But I don't know how to use Kaede, and I really don't know how to play the game like that. Like, they have like a combat stance in this game. I never used it because I really don't. I just treated it like I just ran up to enemies, blocked, pressed the attack button, blocked, pressed the attack button, and surprisingly, I got through the game like that. And yeah, there's a lot more to the combat than what's just hack and slash. They got a little bit of stuff like parrying and stuff like that. I think I got some of that down. I wasn't really that good at it, but when you pull it off, you get HP back, which is fucking amazing. And yeah, but I'm gonna get back on track now. Samanosuke arrives to the Inabayama castle, now called the Jifu Castle, and Yuki is kidnapped as he and Kaede split up to find her. Samanosuke finds Yuki but gets his ass kicked by a monster before Yuki is abducted. After being defeated by the monster, Samanosuke is visited by the 12 Oni, who give Samanosuke the power to vanquish the monsters that abducted Yuki, the Genma. Okay, so I don't since I didn't really explain that very well, that thing that he has on his hand that you use to abduct souls and stuff, that can be used to like level up your character. You can get like health orbs and like blue orbs. I don't know if blue orbs are in the game, but they actually like help with your special moves, which are like absurdly broken. Like, they aren't like all shared through one gauge. Like, you could use all of your special move gauge on like one weapon, switch to another weapon, and use the special gauge on that one. And then yeah, it's just like that. Another thing to note is that the footage that you're seeing now is Onimusha Warlords, which is a direct port of the original Onimusha, just upscaled to look nice. The Xbox had its own version of the game called Onimusha Genma, which is vastly different from Onimusha, which is vastly different from Warlords. In Genma, the game is actually considered to be more difficult, and this is because it wanted to appeal to the Western audience who wanted more of a challenge. And in Genma, you are given orbs that you can absorb that will give you invincibility, which is not in this game. I don't know why they didn't just remaster Genma and kind of just put it on the PlayStation 4 instead of just remaking Warlords, but it is what it is. But back to what I was saying. Once you absorb all of those orbs that give you invincibility, the monsters actually become faster and stronger. So yeah, that's pretty much like a counter to that, so you just don't be absurdly broken. Additionally, there are new areas, new costumes, and enemy limbs can be cut off by your weapon under certain conditions. There's new cutscenes, a new super attack, a new boss, which is called Ayame, which is a doll that cannot be defeated, and it follows you around like Nemesis, which really just plays in on the idea, or not even the idea, it really just pays homage to the fact that this was supposed to be a Resident Evil game to begin with. And you may be wondering why I'm not playing Genma. Like, you may be wondering like why I'm just, I refuse to, just play Genma. And it's not because I just didn't want to. I don't have an OG Xbox, and plus I don't have a capture card, and all of the footage you're seeing comes from the PS5's capture system, then imported onto a thumb drive, then loaded onto Premiere Pro. But that's enough fun facts, and it's time to get back to the video. Before getting to the keep, we run through some caverns and find our first magical sword, Ryzen, which I have dubbed Raikiri. It is the most balanced of the swords you can get, and has a magical move that is pretty cool. We also get the rope ladder here, which is pretty important. After getting out of the cave, we encounter our first save point. After progressing a bit further, we finally get to use the rope ladder. The game has you open your inventory to use it, and it isn't automatically used like you would assume. It's kind of similar to Resident Evil system from like the OG games. Like if you've ever played the Resident Evil remake, it's kind of like that. And the rope ladder's purpose is to get us closer to fighting our first boss. The first boss of the game is Osric. He isn't really anything to be feared unless you're me and almost fumbled a boss when they're one shot because you kept running away and forgot how to fight. And after this fight, you get another sword, Onryu. This is a fire sword. In my opinion, it's good, but it's slow and can get you killed if you use it improperly. Its redeeming quality is its magic move, which can catch multiple enemies at once if you know how to aim it. But I do not. But after Ostrich is beaten, Samanosuke finds a laboratory and encounters this weird looking guy called Skeleton Head or Guildenstern. Dude, I really do not. But Samanosuke learns that the Genma have resurrected Nobunaga to serve them, and he unleashes a Maggot Man at us. His name is Reynaldo, but I like Maggot Man better. Now, I want to take the time to tell you now, if you buy this game, please take your time and explore this map to the fullest. You do not want to miss out on any heals and upgrades because you were too story focused. Like, this game can essentially soft lock you because you didn't find enough heals because you didn't really explore. And that'll literally have to cost, it'll cost you, and you'll just have to like play the game over, which is, yeah, I'd hate to do that. I forgot to mention, but you can find yellow gems and blue gems, each upgrading Samanosuke's abilities in battle. The yellow gems upgrade his health, and the blue gems upgrade his magical powers. After your encounter with the Skeleton Head, you enter the abandoned keep, where you encounter Nobunaga's servant, Tokichiro, as he attempts to recruit you, and as per usual, the main character says no. But in this game, Samanosuke is really just that guy, so I don't blame him for saying no. Before reuniting with Kaide, you run into Yume Maru, who Yuki took under her care. And he doesn't want anything to do with you because he thinks you're going to sacrifice him to the Mr. Badman. Progressing further into the castle leads you to find Kaide with Yume Maru, and he runs off again, triggering the trap room section. And I'm going to tell you now, the trap room section is not that bad until you get to the water trap puzzle room. And this right here is the hardest puzzle in the game. Like, you can't pause the game when this puzzle is on. I mean, if you have a PlayStation, you can press the middle button and it'll like pause the game, weirdly enough. And I did abuse that because if you don't save also, this game has no autosaves. So if you didn't save, you're kind of fucked. But after Kaide saves Samanosuke, they split up to look for Yume Maru. Along his journey, Samanosuke finds Tokichiro and learns that Yuki is essential for a human sacrifice where the Genma's god, Fortinbras, will bless her blood that Nobunaga will then drink to gain the power to destroy the Saito clan. He asks Samanosuke again if he wants to join them before jumping out of the building through a hole in the wall. This leads to the next boss fight in the game, where you learn the wind-style jutsu weapon, Shippu. You get it after you beat Marcellus. I got through the fight by just doing the pick and run technique, which is poking the boss and running away, and doing this the whole fight. After saving Yume Maru from the Genma Marcellus, Samanosuke leaves him with Kaede as he looks for Yuki underground. You go to the basement area of the game, and this leads to Tokichiro trapping Samanosuke, and Kaede is then knocked out by a Genma resembling Samanosuke, while Yumemaru is taken by a woman. When she awakens, Kaede is led to the prison and finds Yuki locked in a cell. Okay, I'm gonna stop now and say it right here. This kicks off Kaede's section of gameplay, and it's highly recommended that you don't kill like anybody during this portion, because like the orbs and stuff that you get, she can't absorb them, and also her and Samanosuke share an inventory. So if you don't have if you use all of your healing items on Kaede, or you can potentially soft lock yourself again because you won't have enough heals for certain fights where I won't say that you will take damage, but it's very hard for me to like not take damage in boss fights because maybe I just play like a jackass. But yeah, this leads Kaede to find Yuki locked in a prison cell. Guildenstern arrives and leaves Kaede to die at the hand of a powerful Genma, only for her to kill it while escaping. That Genma, that shit like disappears and stuff. I don't really know the name of it though, but I thought it was a pretty cool mini boss. After this, Samanosuke awakens, and this begins another boss fight in the game where he has to fight his doppelganger. And of course, he wins, and afterwards, he makes his way back to the keep and finds Yumemaru with the woman who introduces herself as the Genma Hecuba, as she assumes her true form while spiriting Yumemaru into the netherworld with Samanosuke in pursuit. Joined by Kaede as he learns that they intend to kill Yumemaru in front of Yuki to heighten her sorrow so that her blood can be more potent for Nobunaga. And this is where we get into the next boss fight of the game, Hecuba, this lady that did that weird transformation in front of Samanosuke, and I'm just gonna be honest, this boss fight was a little difficult for me because I refused to use any ranged weapons the whole playthrough, so I was kind of playing like an idiot and only using my weapons when it is highly advised that you use like the fire arrows on the bows, but I don't really know how to use the bows like that. And yeah, I made this boss fight a lot more difficult than what it had to be. After this boss fight, you essentially go back to the castle and you shoot the great bow into... So you shoot the little barrier that was keeping you out of the evil guy's lairs. After you shoot that down and you go through the demon door, you encounter Guildenstern, and he summons an improved Marcellus. Yeah, remember that guy from the beginning of the game that I did the poke and run tactic on? I did it again here. It works every single time. If they give me enough area in the boss room, I'm gonna do it. And after you beat Marcellus, you make your way to the giant dragon lizard, whatever you want to call it. You make it to his throne room, but I want to talk about before you even get there. If you did all floors of the underworld, there's an underworld in this game. I didn't really mention it too much because I didn't really consider it like integral to the story, but there's an underworld that you can do if you like to like hurt yourself and stuff like that. And if you get all the way through, it gives you some insane stuff. And you get this whistle that you can use at in-game to get the Bishamon sword, and it's actually quite broken, but it's kind of a letdown that they only give it to you for like the last 10 minutes of the game. Really, I wish that, well, there is a mode in the game where you start off with that sword, and I didn't unlock that yet, but I think you unlock that by getting like 30 fluorides. Yeah, there's a bunch of collectibles and stuff in this game that I did not really talk about. I probably should though. And yeah, hold on, I will. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, there's a bunch of collectibles. Like I mentioned, there are the fluorides, which unlock the I'm just gonna dub it the Bishamon mode, where you start off with the most overpowered sword in the game. But I think the difficulty is on hard, but it doesn't really make, since you have that sword, it's really not that difficult. And there's also like books, journals, weapons. Technically the weapons are collectibles, but like you get them through like story missions and stuff. And there's armor. Yeah, you can find armor in this game. It'll help you like negate damage and stuff like that. Genma actually has like better armors instead of the ones in Warlords. Genma has like a whole nother like gauntlet type thing, like the underworld, except it's in a portion of the game that's like locked off in Onimusha, but in Genma they expanded it into like this gauntlet, and you fight this guy, and I think it's called like the ogre armor or something like that. But yeah, Genma is, in my opinion, the superior port of this game. I don't know why they did not port Genma instead of, I don't know what made them decide to just port Warlords instead of just like upscaling Genma and like porting it over to consoles now. And yeah, back to the video. Once you get to Fortinbras room, it starts off the final boss of the game, which really is not that difficult if you just spam the magic move the whole time. The boss goes down pretty quickly. And yeah, after you end up beating Fortinbras, Yuki, Yumemaru, and Kaide end up escaping because the place starts to collapse. And yeah, while they are trying to get away, Samanosuke ends up getting grabbed by Fortinbras because apparently he didn't die, and he I want to say he kills Samanosuke right here. And yeah, when he kills Samanosuke, his blood kind of drops onto his gauntlet, and it turns him into an Onimusha. Get it? He turns into the young. Shut the fuck up now. In this Onimusha state, Samanosuke completely obliterates Fortinbras by just stabbing him through his central eye. And when Samanosuke transforms back into his human form, he encounters Nobunaga, and both of them just stare off at each other until the room just eventually collapses on itself. And in the end credits, and like I guess that you can call it the epilogue or whatever, nobody knows what happened between Samanosuke and Nobunaga, and nobody even knows where those two even went. Yuki and Yumemaru ended up deciding to travel the world. Kaide ended up dying 14 years later in a battle. In the original ending, Kaide is said to have continued to search for Samanosuke, but was unable to find him. But this is corrected in Onimusha Blade Warriors, that she does in fact find Samanosuke, and they work together to take down the Genma. After the end credits, Samanosuke is seen alive viewing the Inabayama castle as he walks off into the camera, and it looks kind of cool. But yeah, this game actually spawned like 3 sequels, and it was Onimusha Samurai Destiny, Demon Siege, and Dawn of Dreams. And fun fact, this game also inspired the making of Devil May Cry. And the third game, Onimusha Demon Siege, was actually meant to be like the last game, but Capcom ended up making Onimusha 4 because people wanted it. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for the video today. Onimusha is like one of those games that I discovered randomly. I don't even say I discovered it randomly. I discovered it because of the Sphere Hunter, that girl. And yeah, I don't regret playing the game. It is amazing. I got it while it was on sale. So yeah. Another fun fact is Capcom actually planned to release all of the Onimusha games from 1 through 4. But Onimusha Warlords didn't do too good with sales, so they just ended up scrapping that completely. So yeah, we just lost like 3 games because of bad sales. But honestly, dude, they did a piss poor job of marketing it. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's kind of on them. But that kind of it is what it is at this point. And yeah, if you want to enjoy those games, you probably can go back and play them on like the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, whatever console they came out on. But yeah, this is pretty much gonna be the end of the video. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe. I should have said that earlier in the video. And yeah, it's my kid Stain, and later.